I am going to colour sand this, or wet flat it, or whatever you want to call it. We've got a couple of little bits of dirt in it, tiny few little bits, but mainly just to calm the transition of colours. Just going to calm it down a tiny bit. So yeah, I am going to get this flatted and then we'll polish it up. Right then, so this has now been flatted with 1200, 1500 and then 2000. So we've nibbed any little bits of dirt out and we've just calmed the edge down. We haven't lost it. You're always going to have that edge unless you absolutely pour, you know, coats and coats of lacquer on. All we want to do is just take the sharpness off of the edge, just soften it slightly. So that's all we've really done with that. And obviously any little bits of dirt have gone. So the next job is to give it a polish really. So basically the way I flatten polish, again, everybody's different. There is no real right or wrong way of doing it. You just do what you find suits you best and gets the best results. And this is how we generally get the best results. A lot of people nowadays, DA, they'll put 1200 or 15 or 2000 on a DA and DA it, but I don't like to do that because sometimes you can get what they call pigtail, tiny little pigtail swirls, and it swirls and it marks the paint. The problem with DA and stuff is you can't feel it. The machine's doing the work for you, but you cannot feel anything through your fingers or hands. When you're wet flatting, if you get the tiniest little bit of dirt under the sandpaper, you're rubbing away, you'll feel it. You'll feel it on your fingertips. If you don't feel it, you'll possibly hear it. It's always there'll be a change in tone. So if you was to hear a sudden change, like I suppose it would be like a scraping sound. You know, if you hear anything or if you feel anything, stop, dip your sandpaper in the water, get it clean again, wipe any bits off the panel that you're doing and go again. So generally that's how we do it, how I like to do it. Again, do it however you want. But yeah, a little bit of washing up liquid in your water makes it cut better. Well, I don't think it makes it cut better, it stops the sludge from clogging in your paper. Yeah, so we nibbed the bits of dirt out with 1200. I lightly went over the edges with a bit of 12, then 1500 and then 2000. The reason I didn't do 2000 straight away is 2000 is so fine, it won't cut any dirt out. Essentially, if you magnify it, your dirt is like a little hill. You know, if you magnify it, you've got a little hill like that. If you're trying to knock the top of a hill off with I don't know, say a spade, it's going to take forever. If you get a whacking great bulldozer and crunch the top off, then you're going to have better results. Probably not the best way of describing it, you know. But yeah, so I generally don't use 2000 to knock dirt out or anything. We always start with like a 1200 on the dirt, then 15, which knocks out your 1200 scratches, and then again 2000, which will then hopefully knock down your 1500 scratches, and then you're good to go. So yeah, I thought I'd just explain that quickly, and now we'll give it a bit of a polish. So I'm going to use this little air polisher to start with. We're not going to go mad with the big polisher. Well, I might do. We'll see how we get on with this little one. So I'm going to use medium cutting compound. this is my preferred choice. I don't know whether I'm allowed to say the name or anything, so I won't. I'll just squiv a bit on, although it will be on the bottle. So I'll do a little bit so you guys can see. I won't record it all because it's kind of time consuming, and again, I don't want you falling to sleep. Not quite yet. So I'm going to just work this into it, and then once we've done the whole thing with the sort of medium to hard compound, I'll then go over it with a fine compound, and that'll just hopefully just fill in any of the swirls that you do sometimes get some swirls when you're polishing, but it's just the nature of the beast. But we'll do what we can. Also, when you are polishing, or when I'm polishing, if this was on a dirty table or something, that's kind of a big no-no. You want your area really clean where you're polishing, because if this mop goes down onto there and it's dirty, all it's going to do is flick dirt and bits up into the mop. So you want a nice clean environment or area as such for where you're polishing, because unlike the sandpaper, if you get any tiny little bits in your polisher or in your mop, you won't feel that. You won't hear it, you won't feel it, but you'll see it. So there's the first stage done. There we go. Already I can see some scratches in that, so that's going to want a little bit more. Squeaky bench. So I shall continue, and then we'll have another look. So we have done it with the compound. All the scratches are gone. Had to get the big guns out for that. Believe it or not, when you're polishing, you actually want quite a bit of weight on the panel. You kind of warm. It warms the panel slightly. It warms the paint, sorry, and it just kind of flows it better. It works it better. Didn't want to get it too warm, else you'll burn it. But yeah, that's generally what happens. So I will fire this on, and then we're done. And there we go. Let's give it a wipe off. That looks better. Squeaky bench again. Still got man flu. Yeah. Yeah, very satisfying when it polishes up. Quite a lot of people get a little bit worried when they see it all flatted and it's all dull, and they won't actually believe that it will come back all nice and shiny. But it does. Sometimes it's a little bit of a fighter, but generally it's all right. And there we go. Looks all right. Nice and shiny. Like I say, we've still got these little edges, but we're not trying to get rid of them. We're not trying to hide the fact that it's got 2 different colours on it, or 3 different colours. But actually, when you run your hand over it, yeah, it feels really nice, lovely. Pleased with that. So yeah, all we've got to do now is paint the underneath black. Oh, maybe a little bit of bronze. I forgot about that bit. But there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed that little insight into the old flat and polishing. Yeah. Nice, pleased with that. I'm not sure how well it's going to show in the videos, no idea. It might look fantastic, it might look horrendous, but I can assure you I'm pleased with that. So yeah, so like I say, we've got to do the black and then maybe a tiny little bit of bronze on it, just to tie it in with the tank. Let's see.